Hey guys, it's Morgan coming back to you with episode 3 of preparing the Big Red Pig for Mexico. If you've watched our other 2 videos, we took care of the front end, then we took care of the back end with a new swing arm and a whole bunch of love on bolts and stuff. Oh, and by the way, if you watched the last one, you'll notice I put the shock in backwards because that's how they all go on every other bike. They don't go like this on this bike. It goes the other way. I have not worked on my XR in way too long, so we got to switch that around. That's going to be part of this video. And no, we don't just edit out all of our mistakes. We leave things in because that's real. But no, tonight we are staying late. We're going to work hard. Check that out. Super duper sexy wheels showed up from Warp 9. Got the Elite Warp 9 wheels. So excited. Thank you, Warp 9. I bought these. It's not a free gift, but they did give me a very big discount. Super stoked. Got Nitro Mooses in them. We got Tusk T45 tires on, and so that's going to go on. We've got the carburetor kit from Tusk. In fact, that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to take a look at what a Tusk carburetor kit looks like, because I've never actually used one. I've used all balls. I've used OEM. This is my first time with this, so let's take a look. Also, guys, you can, from Rocky Mountain, buy OEM stuff. I got an OEM kickstart seal. So if you guys need OEM stuff and you don't want to support, okay, let's back up. I'm always talking about Rocky Mountain. They are a big supporter of the channel. They're helping me out a lot. It's been huge. But I want to let you guys know and make sure you guys understand that I support local first. So please shop local first. Unless you hate the guys at your local shop, shop local first. If they can't get it or they don't have it or whatever, then go to Rocky Mountain, do stuff like that. Or if Rocky Mountain, a lot of Tusk products, you know, guys aren't going to stock in town. So if you like the tires or whatever, then you got to go outside. But please shop local first. All right, let's take a look. Oh, and by the way, I spend many thousands of dollars with our local dealer on OEM parts. I just needed this and they had it in stock and I grabbed it really fast. All right, so Tusk carburetor kit, here we go. Get a sticker, which is nice. Start with the float bowl gasket. That's probably the biggest problem with this carburetor is this one is just old and cracked and junk. So let's see how it fits. It's a little bit tight, but you know, size-wise this way, but fits good, stays in place. Old needle. Let's just compare it with new needle. You can definitely see difference in quality. This looks like a little bit, you guys aren't going to probably see it on the camera, but you can tell this aluminum on the Tusk one is definitely a little cheaper looking. This almost looks machined, and maybe it is, I don't know. This one looks cast. Should do the job just fine, but definitely a difference in quality. All right, now we need to jet this thing for Mexico. Yep, this comes with the stock 120 something, which is ridiculous. So that never works anywhere. They came for emissions, and they're terrible. So I know what I think I know what I want to put in here, but I'm going to take a look at what we've got for up here. Yeah, it's a 165. We're going to go with a 175. Let's see, pilot should be a 68 or a 65, and I like to run a 68 down there. So let's see. Yeah, I'm going to put a 68 pilot. That is just a 65 is good for up here in the mountains. 68 is better down there. XR650s like to have as much gas as you can possibly throw at them. All right, another thing you want to do, rebuilding carb, especially 4-stroke carb, is make sure you take a look at the fuel screw, because there's an O-ring in there that you don't want to neglect. All right, guys, got it all. Oh, actually, I need to take this off because I do have a new O-ring for that too. Stinking good thing. Remember that because that thing is all the way flat. Go install that sucker. All right, guys, so the only thing I didn't use was the needle because I've got a better needle in it from just from knowing things about XR650s and having gotten to meet Bruce Ogilvie and Johnny Campbell and Kendall Norman and Quinn Cody and all the heroes of my era of racing that bike. So yeah, I got a better needle in that thing. And the Pilot, I don't know, I think it's a 60, I don't know. So the jets that come in these guys, marginal. Tusk kit in general is good. I like the O-rings, although I have to say this O-ring, this is for the cap. It's the right shape, but it's not quite the right size. This part of it is not big enough. So I reused the one that's on there. It was actually in fine shape. So that's a kind of a bummer. But everything else fit really well. Everything else worked really good. Screws were really nice. I didn't use these because they're a little bit longer than the ones that hold the cap on. There was actually room. They could have gone through. There's nothing below it. It's not a blind hole, but I just used the stock ones because they're the right length. But everything else is good. So thumbs up for the carburetor kit. It's like $17, so I'll take it. What I needed was the rubber parts, and all but that top cap were good. But that top cap rubber wasn't that awesome, so I guess I'll give that little part of it a thumbs down. I could have made it work with some stretching and stuff like that, but that's not cool. I'd rather have it all be perfect. But the float bowl gasket, which was the problem, and the O-ring on the nut on the bottom of the float bowl were perfect. So pretty happy about that. Got the carburetor on. Next thing is flip this around, get it face the right way. And yeah, I'm an idiot. Get that done. And then I believe we'll actually probably put the front wheel on just because that's going to look cool. And then we'll work on the back. I've got a new fender. Boom, we're going to be doing that tonight too. So get the fender on there, decide what I'm going to do about the taillight. I might take that off for the race because I'm going to be running a blue blinky light on the back of me during the race. We're supposed to have that. That's a rule. And then also I will have, like pre-running, I'm going to have a Dustworks blinking red light on the back of me. So I might leave that off, just one less thing to break, and then I'll install it later. I think that's what I'll do. And I don't need to be street legal in Mexico, which is awesome. I also got a thing for that. So anyway, let's get to work. All right, guys. Ooh, it's looking so good. Oh, I'm so excited. Front wheels on, all centered up and ready to go. Got our fork gators all extended and happy. So that's good. Got our awesome new OEM Honda fender on. So I got everything all stuck nuts and new bolts except for this one because this is a special shoulder bolt and I didn't get one of those. But everything's got stuck nuts on it. Everything's ready to go. Exhaust is back on. Clamps tightened down. This is back on. This is actually a super nightmare, guys. The way this is mounted, it's one of the things I don't like about this bike is the way that mounts. That's okay though. I'll get over it. But now, one of the only real mechanical things I have to do, other than like, you know, just, I mean, one of the only problems I should say is this little guy. My kickstart seal is leaking. So we're gonna blow that thing off with some brake clean. And then I got a brand new OEM one that I bought from Rocky Mountain ATV MC. And yes, I am advertising for them. And guys who are upset about that, well, you can just suck it. Like, honestly, whatever. They're an awesome company. They help me out. I support local big time. I buy a ton of motorcycles and parts from our local dealer. And I recommend that you do the same. But if there's something you need, get it from Rocky Mountain. So yeah, I got that. I'm going to use a pick, and I'm going to go real easy in on that and pop that seal out and drive a new one in with a socket, and then we'll be good to go to, I believe, mount the back wheel, which I'm excited about because it's going to make this bike look a whole lot more like a motorcycle. All right, guys, one thing I got to check. on this whole swing arm situation is that these are good. The chain adjuster bolts are good because these things are notorious for seizing in there. I'm really hopeful that they're not. Lock nut's not bad. Come on, adjuster. Yes! The adjuster's good. So, well, this one is. We don't know what the other one's like. But what we're going to do is, to avoid any problems in the future, we're going to remove it. Oh, look at that. Someone put anti-seize on it. Patrick Hempley, I love you. That's the guy who gave me these. And that clearly has anti-seize. That's awesome. Some Bel-Ray anti-seizure. Put some more on there because if some is good, more is better, right? Run that pretty far in. Let's check the other side. Fingers crossed here. But if that one was good, kind of bet that this one is too. Let's see. All right, so far so good. Ooh, this one's a little stiffer, but we're good. A better axle for it too that came with the swing arm. Put a little anti-seize on that. Oh my gosh, these are so pretty. Oh man, it's so pretty. All right, so Rocky Mountain ATV has given me chain and sprockets, but that rear sprocket is too freaking sexy to take off, so I'm not taking that thing off. I am going to do the front one though. So let's take a look at that. Honda's a little funky. It's got this locking plate that like goes on to the splines and then turns like a half a spline to help hold this thing on there. So I'm going to get a brand new one of these. Then we'll get our Tusk chain that everybody's whining and complaining about, and we'll see how good it is. Not sure what size this is. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's only a 14. I put this on there with a bigger rear sprocket to go ride 5 miles of hell. And if you haven't checked that video out, make sure you do. Just look up Highland Cycles 5 miles of hell or XR650 5 miles of hell. It's a hell of a thing. But I think I want to put a 15 on it for Mexico. The primary drive, steel front sprocket. And that fits really nice on the splines, better than that Sunstar that I just took off. Of course, that Sunstar had been on there for a while, so fair enough. Maybe the Sunstar wasn't bad, but this is definitely not worse. These are definitely getting stuck nuts on them. From the factory, they put green thread locker on them from Honda, so definitely want to put stuff on there. We do not want this thing coming off at speed. Out. That fits real well, so I like that. There's a little bit of give, but definitely less than the Sunstar. So now, let's check out this chain that a lot of you guys think is junk. And I hope it's long enough. That's the big concern. I really hope it's long enough. I don't know. I think I told him to get me a long one, but this may not be a long enough chain, which would be hilarious. Oh, I might have to eat my words. It might make it. No way. It's gonna make it. I just gotta scoot this wheel forward. Ha 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 ha! I thought for sure it was not gonna be right. That's awesome. Okay. Now, I normally in Mexico, especially on a race bike, I like to set it up about the longest wheelbase you possibly can, because that gives you the most stability. So you want to, you know, if you can run a longer chain, buy a link or two, then you do. But part of that is like, I don't have a longer chain from these guys. So it's getting this, this is the chain we're going to use. But also it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be going as fast on this bike as I would a race bike. Yes, so excited about that. I was worried. Not the end of the world, but I really wanted to make sure I tested this chain because of all the crap you guys are giving me. Normally in Mexico, I don't like to run a clip master link. I run a rivet link because you're just begging for troubles with the master link. But for pre-running, I don't worry too much about it. I'll have spare everything in the van. So chain, sprockets, wheels, whatever, all kinds of stuff. So it's not a big deal when you're dealing with a pre-run bike. But race bike, I always use rivet links because it's just way more secure. Pliers, wrenches, best tool, period, for doing this. So good. Boom, gold chain. Oh, I love it. Guys, let's just take a second to look at the beauty that is the XR650 with these sexy wheels on it. Man, that is rad. So there you guys go. We're running a 1547, which is the go-to for factory Honda when they were racing down there on 650s. It's a great gearing for down there. Works fine in the rocky stuff, but it also go real fast. Hopefully we'll get some when we're down there. Make sure you subscribe, guys, because obviously we're going to be broadcasting from Mexico, taking lots of videos, all that good stuff. And I will definitely be figuring out what the top speed of this motorcycle is using a GPS. All right. You guys want to hear it run? Yeah, so do I. So let's button this thing up. I'm gonna put you guys down for a little bit. I'm just gonna put some plastic back on it, nothing big, and put the tank back on it, and we'll see if it fires up. All right, guys. Let's see if the old girl will fire up. Put the choke on. Now, this thing is jetted for sea level, which I realized I probably shouldn't have done because I do need to take this on a shakedown right up here. But these things are super easy to jet on the bike. No big deal. If you don't know how to start a 650, there's a very special way to do it. I'm not going to go through it right now, but well, I'm going through it, but I'm not going to tell you about it. If you guys want me to make a video about that, let me know. I will. Yeah. Now I'm not gonna keep it running because, like I said, it's jetted for sea level. It's got huge jets in it. The thing is pouring a ton of gas. So I think we're done, guys. Now the one thing that's not done that I am gonna do, I normally don't do on my little bikes anymore, but I am gonna do on this, is I'm gonna run some wraparound handguards because Mexico's got a lot of spiky things. And yeah, I don't want to run into those spiky things with my hands. So, and I can't do the flag style that I normally do because of this clutch perch. I have a Works Connection clutch perch and it doesn't work. So that's okay. I'm gonna get some Enduro Engineering Evo 2 handguards, which would be nice. Probably gonna have to move these bars around a little bit. These are so different from the bars I had on it. Those flex bars. And just the bend, I mean, everything is different, but man, this thing's coming together. So I'm gonna turn you guys off. I'm gonna bolt the rest of the plastics on there and give you a look at what this thing actually is gonna look like when we take it down there. All right, guys, I am so freaking stoked about this build. And I'm really excited about how it looks right now. There's probably a bunch of you guys out there like, you should put new plastics and you should shine this and more cleaning. And nope, you know what? Not at all. That is not me. That's not how I roll. This thing is now mechanically very sound. It is going to do amazingly well down in Mexico. The motor is super fresh. Now the suspension's all fresh. New swing arm, sexiest wheels ever. The lights work. Everything works. New bars, new Mako 360. Big thank you to Hondo Garage for the mount. I am going to be running the anti-vibe to keep my iPhone camera from failing, which you guys mentioned. But then actually I had another guy mention, I'm still running this, don't worry, but mentioned the fact that I have the Mako 360 is already isolated. So I wonder if that would help with the vibration too. But still going to run that. But yeah, guys, let's take a look at this thing. This is a lot like me. It's got some shiny parts, some really cool parts, but it is still 100% punk rock, and that is what I love. I put my old 2006 Fender on there for homage to my solo down there. We're going to be using Baja pits again, which is cool. Painted that black like the boys at Honda do. Myself, obviously not with fancy stuff. It all broke off. Got a big crack here in this radiator shroud. Just put a sticker over it. Yeah, guys, it's kind of how this channel is. That's how my life is. I do a really good job. I work really hard, and I like to make sure that things are mechanically sound and work no matter what. But I'm okay with them looking a little rough, because like, look at me, look at my thumb, look at my teeth. I'm not that pretty. I'm overweight. I'm kind of a funny looking guy anyway. Happened to score a really hot wife. I don't know how that happened, but you know, but I'm damn good at what I do, and I'm absolutely love what I do more than anything. So that, I think this thing represents that really well. Let me know in the comments below if you think that represents me very, very well. Like I said, some absolutely sexiness from Warp 9, but then some old hammered 2002 stuff too, and I love it. So that is going to conclude this part of the video series on prepping for Baja, guys. The next stuff will be me. I'll definitely get a video of me shaking this thing down out in our desert and beating on it and make sure everything's going to be good. And then I've got some stuff coming for my van. I'm going to show you the couple things I'm going to be doing to the van to get it ready to go. I'm going to be taking my big red van. I was going to take my white van to be a little less conspicuous, but red van is just too nice, and I'm going to insure the crap out of it. So, yeah, so that concludes prepping the 650, unless I find anything else. Thank you guys for joining me for this journey. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here and you're just joining us for XR650 content, because there's going to be a whole bunch coming from the deserts of Mexico. I love you guys. Get out, spread the gospel of two wheels, and I desperately hope that what we're doing here is inspiring you guys to work on and maybe just take a big chance and go race your dirt bikes!